Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana is still in this beautiful channel, very well defined channel. Ethereum is in a similar channel, for example, but it's not that well defined. I think here the channel here is really particularly beautiful, whatever. You can define here this descending trend line. You can define a descending trend line up there, parallel lines, descending channel. So we can very well understand and map out where we are, especially with the Elliott waves, where after the wave 5 here, we finally come into the target area that we've been talking about for a couple of months now. And we have made here this ABC correction. I think we are still in the wave C. We are seeing a particularly long wave C that is contains here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move in blue. In my view, we have completed the wave 3. That also consisted of 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in green. And I think that wave 5 is complete in my view. Of course, you never really know. That's an assumption based on how far we came down here, based on the daily RSI, which was oversold. And we can even see that here on the daily. If we go to the daily chart, you can see that the RSI was oversold. It actually still is oversold. It came down really low. I've never seen the Solana chart being that much oversold. Generally a particularly good situation for buying if someone's just looking at the RSI, but the RSI is only one indicator. But to be honest, I think there were worse times for buying. I mean, we have come down from the all-time high a whopping 70% roughly, so really a lot. And as I said in the last few videos, I do expect the price here to go all the way or a little bit higher to get here into this target area, which is sitting between 107 and 130 or 128 US dollars. I mean, there is no guarantee it's going to get there. I think it has already done actually what it needs to do nearly. You see that wick here that came all the way up to nearly $105. That was very close. So, when it gets to these levels, the first Fibonacci level, the lowest area of my target area here for the next wave, it means it has done the minimum. It might not need to climb up higher, pretty much similar to what Bitcoin did and Ethereum, but it's not quite there yet. So I think, we're going to see a little bit further upside for Solana as well. We are seeing here it at the moment for various cryptos. Today Solana is still fairly weak. Yes, there is upside, but not very much. Other cryptos are pumping much more. What is holding Solana back here probably is just this kind of a consolidation, and also if I zoom out, the 0.618 fib level, which is at $100 or $99. So to be fair, that $100 line is of course also not only support, it is also resistance. But to be fair, it wasn't actually a lot of support this time when the price just rushed through that fib level and just straight away all the way to $88. It didn't even care about the $100. So that was how weak that chart really was. Overall, what we are forming here is in this consolidation, we are forming a pattern, certainly a pattern. And I think this is some kind of a triangle. Let's see what we get. But the message here is, we're getting closer towards the apex of a pattern. And that always means that if you're getting closer, you're gonna see some kind of a spring moment, and what you can see here, we're not too far away from it anymore. I mean, to be fair, this could happen, or this could carry on for another couple of days actually. It's particularly boring for some cryptos at the moment. If you look at the charts, some are hardly moving at all, including Bitcoin, to be fair. I mean, this Solana here is making higher lows, yes, but also lower highs. And we need to wait for a breakout here. Generally looking at that, and to be fair, it's looking similar to what Cardano is doing. Also, you have here this flagpole, then a potential pennant formation, a triangle, symmetrical triangle, that normally would in this downtrend more often than not break to the downside, not necessarily to the upside. But what makes me wonder, is this really going to happen? Because we are still so much oversold. So does such a pattern really break to the downside if you're so much oversold? Maybe we need to see a bit more upside, or at least sideways consolidation, so that this momentum indicator can push a little bit higher. The MACD is also turning around a little bit to the upside. I mean, last time we saw that, at least we saw a little bit of No, we didn't see any upside. Up here we saw a little bit of upside, yeah, when it turned around. So you can possibly expect a little bit of a move up before we then get into this final wave 5 here in blue. And where that's going to land, I can't really tell you until we know where that wave 4 is going. But I think we can be fairly confident, I am at least, that we are going to see here at some point in the near future this $56 level. That is also the peak of that wave 1 that we had here. But more importantly, it is the 0.786 fib level of that correction that we are seeing here in this very well defined channel. And there is further downside, I'm fairly confident, and I did show you that before. If we just update or check here the longer time frame indicators, especially on the weekly, the RSI is now still in the bearish range. There is still further scope to fall further. We're only at 40 or 41, and it can fall until 30 before we get into the oversold range on the weekly. Yeah, so here, you know, the longer term indicators, longer time frame indicators, they count. Also on the MACD, we are here in this sell-off. You know, we see the selling pressure increasing, and I did tell you for various cryptos, when you see this on the weekly, this MACD cross on the weekly, you're gonna see further downside, and this is just playing out across the board for a lot of cryptos at the moment, if not for all of them. So yeah, I think there is further downside potential. That doesn't mean that we couldn't, in the very short term, move up a little bit, bring, for example, here these shorter time frame indicators higher, like here on the RSI on the daily, because that needs to happen. Otherwise, you probably can't see that sell-off that I expect. So we need to bring that a bit higher, the RSI, especially on the daily, before we can get a final sell-off. And then I expect very, very attractive prices, yeah, to also get into Solana and other cryptos, not only Solana. And then I expect a fairly quick recovery. Now that is currently a bit of speculation, but because I think what we're going to see is a wave 3. A wave 3 is typically very bullish and typically starts quite strong as well. We really should or could see some very, very fast upside here. For example, when that channel is going to broken to the upside, you know, depending on how long this is going to take. I've been saying that all of this could be taking until the end of Q1. So maybe that is quite a realistic time frame actually. If you follow this trend line as well towards March, you know, end of March, and you get to this level here, $55, $56, and then you get your breakout to the upside. What we need to bear in mind, this correction, I'd love to have it finished very quickly, but the closer you normally get to the end of a correction, the longer it can take, you know, and the more sideways movement you get, then it's starting to bottom out. You get these bullish divergences on the chart, so that can drag along. It does look like we are in the time plan, you know, to finish it towards the end of Q1, but the end of a correction can take a while because the selling pressure is decreasing. We can't see it yet. You can see just by looking at this channel that the selling pressure is just continuing to stay at the same level. But typically, you know, if you have a very long downtrend, you can normally, you would expect here some, I mean, just looking at this was a bit different, but also here from this wave 1 to that wave 2, you have this strong sell-off, bit of a consolidation, and then this drags on and takes a while. You know, that was here back in between May and July, and then at the end of the correction you get this you know, sort of sideways movement. You find a low here, and then it takes a while until it gets higher as well. At some point you then see the breakout, and then that's it. Then it goes here to the moon. So that's similar to what I expect now. Let's see if that's going to play out, but the message is I expect further downside after a shorter term upside within the channel further down. If we break here above $130 though, then we've broken this channel, probably broken this next fib level as well at $130, and then we can expect a price increase. But again, we are prepped here for both scenarios on More Crypto Online, because I have been dollar cost averaging and shared my buy orders. So I'm quite pleased that I didn't buy up here. I waited until the prices have reached here this sort of area, and from $130 I did start to dollar cost average in at pretty much a 50% discount of where the price was at its all-time high. I don't think these are bad prices. Hopefully you liked the update about Solana. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, maybe you want to consider to join as a channel member. You can do that on YouTube or on my website, and for that you can find a link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.